Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. In the Brecon Winning Owners Bar, we are Darren, a couple of feature races this week. The Fredshaw New Zealand Trotting Championship at Group 1 level was always a great race, and of course Coca-Cola getting behind the superstars. More about those as the preview goes on, but excellent race night this week. What was last week like?
Yeah, look, last week was pretty good. Comparing with a really strong meeting last year, a premier meeting where we turned over 1.3. We were close to 1.2 just with 10 races versus 11 last year. So to be honest, pretty pleased with that. That missed obviously a few of the feature races with the structure change of the calendar. So we had those couple of maiden races in there.
Now, they were very positively supported. You wanted to have 12, minimum of 12 to pay the extra 2,500. I think you got 14 in both. What's happened this week?
Yeah, look, as you say, we were 15,000 up to 17.5 if we did, because it was a full field and they also ran money. The races were resulted at 18,100.
Right.
Wheels are completely fallen off this week. To be honest, a wee bit off the whole meeting, Greg. It's a premier meeting where we had 12 races last year, 141 horses, almost 1.6 million in turnover. There are some structural changes, as I say, to the calendar. But
So this was Derby night last?
It was,
Yeah.
So, simple as this, we need the support. The industry cannot keep operating in this sort of void of no horses and not supporting the structure that's in place. As you know, we're not entirely supportive of some of the changes to the calendar, and I know that Gary Wood and HRNZ are reviewing that and looking at what that
Which he
that
said he'd
means.
do. Yep.
Correct, yeah, but I mean, we can't continue like this. I mean, this week, possibly, with a bit of luck, we're 800,000 or 900,000, but that's going to be a turnover drop of 700,000.
Yep.
Now that, based on the revenue, is money that the structure of the new races will only be okay if we're able to claw that back. And there's no way we will claw that back.
No.
And that's one of the things that we were worried about on behalf of the industry with some of that change. I don't think anyone that looks at what's happened so far in the first 3 months would deem that to be a success, based on the number of horses that have competed in some of those races, and I know there's some work being done about that. We've still got some exciting stuff to come from August on, so we're really pleased about that. But at the end of the day, it's about us as a club getting as much money into the coffers of HRNZ as we can,
Yep.
through turnover and revenue, so that they can pay it out to all clubs.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's every club's obligation as we move forward. So, you know, as we always say, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
If it was easy, someone would be doing it.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say our own initiative of those maiden races, to have 8 horses in a $15,000 maiden race, pretty much makes it a disgrace.
Yeah,
I can't really describe it any other way.
It's really disappointing. Right, let's put that to the side and talk about the next 3 race meetings here. So Friday we obviously have the 9 races, Wednesday the lower grade meeting, and then we've got Easter Saturday night, we've got these Ratto races, but we also have the $100,000 Country Cups final. And I've been doing a bit of work around some of those Country Cups in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and every week those races are getting deeper and deeper. The final should actually be a cracking contest.
Yeah, look, there's going to be some great racing. I mean, we've got a couple of small fields this week, but certainly not lacking in quality. So the winners will be worthy of winning group races.
Yep,
so there's
absolutely.
no doubt about that, including Cheviot's race, and we've got the trophies here for those, and we're hosting that on their behalf this year. Hopefully that gets back to their meeting with a change of date next year. So pleased to be able to do that, and pleased to have them on board with Woodlands.
All right. The Addington News way we did it last week, we had a bit of feedback on that.
Yep.
And basically what we're going to do is do the news part, give you a couple of winners at the back end of it, and then we'll do our elongated, if you like, preview. So if you want to watch that stuff, you can. You don't have to, and pick out what you want to watch.
Yeah, look, we get, especially for social media, 20 minutes of footage is not ideal.
No.
Of course, this piece of content's used for a variety of things, including our own owners' emails that go out, our industry EDMs, and other stuff that the chunks of information is used for. But 100% get that, you know, 20 minutes out of people's lives to watch this and watch my mugs. Not an ideal situation.
It's not ideal either.
But some people like that because that's how they're getting a full meeting preview. So yeah, a couple of changes, some selections up front which you're going to go through. Just on the COVID situation, of course, we didn't get the answer that we thought we were going to get on Monday. And the Prime Minister's indicated an update next Thursday.
So does that effectively mean that for the next 3 meetings you've just got to carry on and do exactly the same thing?
It does for now. Obviously, if a change happened next Thursday and we could react really quickly, we will.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of time. It's Good Friday the next day. I mean, poor old rugby, they're pulling their hair out. They're playing the next day.
Yes.
That's not giving you a lot of time if there's a change. But certainly it was a lot freer last week. It was really busy because we had the rugby crowd here, and we in fact turned some people away because it exceeded our bubbles.
200, yeah.
Yeah, which is frustrating. You're trying to get people here and now you're turning them away.
Yeah.
But people felt a wee bit freer and owners were able to go to the stable. So all of that will continue for the next 3 meetings. And as I say, Easter Saturday, if we got an answer that was helpful, then we'd move as quickly as we can. Give us those winners.
All right, just before we do that, Regan Todd. I know he didn't do it here. 200th winner in a very short space of time. He's a young trainer doing some excellent things. There's a couple of bases, Woodend Beach and obviously at Yoldhurst there at Lavros Lodge, but playfully followed up by stack back-to-back races. Robbie Close driving great. Just a real positive note to discuss, isn't it?
Yeah, look, really good young guy. Always fun to be around. Doing a great job on the track. One memory, of course, he's got Oscar Bonavina stepping out again this week in a group race. I can remember the look on his face when the fixer pulled up in his first start for him and was pulled up a wee bit distressed. Poor old Regan, you'd think the world was ending. He loves his horses, he does a great job, he's a bloody good trainer. And the combination with Robbie Close is going great. And of course, Sam Thornley was the one that grabbed that win, and he's doing a good job too. So, excited for Regan. Wasn't at Addington, but still great stuff anywhere that a trainer grabs a
milestone. Absolutely, it is. Yep. Here's 3 for you. Waterview takes its place in that race. The time-honoured Leonard Memorial, I reckon it can improve off that first up run and beat Cardi B. Majestic Lavros, who is miles better than the race it's in this week. First up for Derek Jones, expect it to win. And Kelly's Delight comes out of the breeders, which every horse that finished in behind Better Talk Art, funnily enough, Regan Todd, Robbie Close's first Group 1 here in New Zealand, they've gone on either one or gone very close to winning the whole field. And this horse here is the only one that hasn't started since, pretty much. So, expect it to be really hard to beat. But we're going to do a full preview very shortly, so stick around.
Let's have a look at the preview for the big Premier meeting. Race 1 at 5:19 is the IRT Your Horse Our Passion Mobile Trot 1980.
Yeah, a few races like this, Darren, throughout the night, really even. I'm keen to go with Salvo, though. Had a Northern campaign, was heavily backed first up and didn't get all favours. Blair Orange takes the reins for Jack Harrington from a nice barrier draw. Really competitive, I think, this week. Martha Stewart gets off the gate quickly. Expect her to be in the firing line throughout. John Dunn. Hot to Trot was a winner here 2 starts back in similar sort of circumstances. Had a gallop last time, so I disregard that. Back to the mobile should be of assist. And Sod's Law, the cash flow card, didn't deliver last time for the Geddeses, but he is an 8-race winner. He'll be competitive in the first. 3, 6, 2 and 4.
Race 2 is the Livermore Mobile Pace 1980 at 5:46.
Yeah, great supporters of Addington, Livermore, of course, the trotting free-for-all on Cup Day, their big race. Swaggerman's the one to beat here. He's trolled up really nicely, beat Monaco Grace, and they got home in just over 56 seconds. She's gone south. She'll win down there, I think, on Saturday. He'll go close to winning this on Friday night. If he can get the front like he did in that trial, he's the horse to beat. Tempo Warrior was excellent. First up here last week behind Better That Be Sharp, who's a decent sort of a horse and is not without a chance later on in the program. Watch That Man, who's a half to Nandolo, is improving with racing. It will continue to do that. And Ain't No Angel. Brad Williamson, first starter, pacer, unusual for him to not only bring a first starter to Addington, but a pacer. He must have a fair opinion of her. So the numbers 6, 7, 3 and 5, and I've left out Swift Guy, who I know you're a fan of, but can't find a spot for it in the first leg of the early quaddie. First of our features is the Down by the Seaside Cheviot Harness Racing Club's Leonard Memorial. It's time-honoured, and we want to have a look at this video. This is the key video. Cardi B in front, Waterview, who was on debut for the team Telfer, had to sit outside Cardi B, and she was just perfectly rated by Katie Cox. Waterview will improve immensely, though. Love the way she kept coming at the line. Of course, the other dun runners there mystify me getting through on the inside. who is actually going to be racing a little bit of her, 5%, for Graham Mee, who unfortunately got injured in a horse accident. So the team there, Nigel Armstrong, pledging 5% towards the fund that they're going to help Graham Mee get back on his feet. You've got to rate it a chance. And Madame Delight from the inside, beautifully bred out of Miss Elsie, has trialled up nicely, has Bob Butt. I think it'll probably be the same Quinella, Darren, but I'm picking Waterview will improve enough to really challenge Cardi B this week.
Yeah, great to see the 2-year-old fillies on track and us being able to host that on behalf of Cheviot. Race number 4 is at 6:36, the Maya Health Foundation Mobile Pace 1980.
I struggled last week with some races, Darren. I have to be honest with you. This is a nightmare to try and work out. Wave the Bills in superb form. It's 1980. And he's got the outside of the gate. That's going to make it really hard. I did put him on top, but with no real confidence. Arden's Delight outside second row can be a good draw at this distance, so don't discount its chances. Sam Otley for Grant Payne. Then I was with Better Be Sharp, who I mentioned just before. It can win more races, and judging by the way it won its maiden last week, one of those $17,500 maidens to boot, it'll be competitive. If it gets any luck, it follows out La Pole Dancer. And Mighty Reactors raced well for a wee while now. Comes up with a decent barrier draw again, and I think it can be competitive. But just keep writing them on your ticket if you can and your quaddie. I will go for the 9 on top, Wave the Bill. But yeah, it's a tough race. Moving on to race number 5, which is the Group 1 of the night. It is the Fred Shaw Memorial New Zealand Trotters Championship, won by all the very best trotters. The one race that this horse in front hasn't won. His name is Sunday Sun. He's come up with barrier 1. He opened $1.90. He's now $1.75. He possesses good early gate speed. Wind the clock back, think Harness Jewels. He started from the front row and led quite comfortably. So he'll hold his own. His biggest challenger early might be the horse second in that race, Bolt for Brilliance, but it's difficult when they're drawn alongside each other, Darren, to be able to get past. So I don't think Bolt will get him early. The big question mark will be, will Oscar Bonavina come off the gate, Robbie Close, and will Muscle Mountain, who's a defending champion? Now, in this race last year, he did lead, and he led comfortably under his own steam, got past Bolt for Brilliance very, very early on in the piece. So whether they have a crack early will determine whether Sunday Sun just holds up. And if he does and he leads, we know he's basically, you can't get past him. So I'd love to see the Millionaire win this race. If he's in front, he's clearly the one to beat. You've got to be around Bolt, Muscle Mountain, yes. Oscar Bonavina, who I think's right back to his absolute best, and Regan said he's come through that race beautifully. And the horse I was speaking last week, Mataderos, he ended up second favourite under $4. He's now nearly 20 to 1. He's got the worst draw. So great race. Every horse in this race would be a worthy winner when you don't mention Heavyweight Hero, who won the Group 1 trotting free-for-all on Cup Day a year and a half ago. And, of course, the star 3-year-old of last season and 5 Wise Men. Cracking contest. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, look, it's a difficult race to win. There's only been 5 horses to win it twice, starting with Nigel Craig and finishing up with Speeding Spur. Muscle Mountain to go back-to-back to grab a couple, but it just shows you how difficult a race it is to win when we've had superstar trotters over the years. On to the next, Greg.
Yep, race number 6 it is, the Coca-Cola Superstars Championship. This is the key lead-up race. It's last week. It's Cranbourne in front. It's Older Wise Guy to his inside, Better Twist the outside. Look, these two cleared out. No Better Twist this week, of course, but Cranbourne in front. Geez, hard to peg back. Will the lead just be there for him this week, Darren? That's the big question. Drawn to his inside, can go. David Butcher. He's got a great record on the Anna Donnelly team, and certainly in recent times, you think about him winning the Cup with Rough and Ready last week up there at the Manawa too, just indicative of how he clicks with their team. And this horse is brilliant, beating Old Town Road last time. Got pushed back to last and just pulled to the outside and ran straight past them. It took some doing. Older Wise Guy, this is his last hurrah before he goes out and has a spell and gets set for those spring races. He gets off the machine very quickly. And then you've got Pembroke Playboy, who's going to the race. AG's White Sox, who was excellent. And in that video we just showed you, he made up a stack of ground. And the Herb, the Ultimate Race Book, will tell you his sectionals were unbelievable, as were One Changes, who's drawn the outside here under the pref barrier draw and will need some luck. But he went very good last week too. Tough race. I have to go for Cranbourne because if he's in front, I don't think they'll run past him.
You look great to have Coca-Cola on board with the superstars. Race number 7's Harrison Bloy handicap trot 2600, and that goes at 8:11.
Yeah, went with Majestic Lavros here. He is by far and away the best trotter in this race. Well, he has the best credentials. He's won nearly 100,000. He's won a South Bay Trotters Cup. He's trialled up nice. He's now with Derek Jones. He's had feet problems, so having a farrier in charge of him can only enhance getting him back to something like his best. And the way he trialled, Darren, overall, they went 3:26 at Rangiora. Inheim was in behind him, his first run in a very long time, but he did enough to say he can win fresh up, and he has an excellent record winning that condition. So I'm happy to be with Majestic Lavros, and I actually made him the best bet of the week on the box seat. Because if he trots and does things right, he should simply be too good for these. Peregrine made a fair fist of her first attempt at Addington Raceway. I think she can only improve on that. Light of the Moon is a horse that's going to make her way through the grades. She's starting to catch up mentally now, and she just won very comfortably last time over Take After Me. It's a different kettle of fish this week, but I'm ready to think, or reasonably to think, that she can be competitive. And why wouldn't the Bloss be competitive again? Always is in these types of races. But Majestic Lavros, clear top pick.
Race number 8's the Captain Crunch Passing Lane Pace, a standing start race, 2600 at 8:41.
Yeah, here's Herbie. He's been putting together some really good races in his last few, and excellent here behind All By Myself last week. Has a beautiful front row barrier draw. Expect him to step, put himself right in the van here and take all sorts of beating. Happy to have him on top. Here's Herbie. Over the 8 Loyalist, who just keeps racing in terrific form, generally steps the mark well, so expect it to be in the firing line throughout. Reformed, one of a couple on the night for Denise Otley. Team is going well. She doesn't have a big team, doesn't race a lot, but when they do race, they generally aren't here unless they can perform, and it definitely can. And then the other one I had was Danamora, who's much better than that last effort, where it missed away from the stand. I think it'll be aided a wee bit by the second row following them through. Sometimes can help that. But here's Herbie in the right sort of form to be winning again.
The last race on the cards, race 9, the first direct taxis Mobile Pace, 1980 at 9:09.
Kelly's Delight's fresh up, but off the back of a Group 1 performance last time where she was third. She's a very valuable broodmare now, and Bob Butt will have her ready to go. I'm sure of that. I think she can win. Kelly's Delight, the 4. Over the 6, Sugar Me, who was excellent first up, running second and behind Better Twist. Just okay last week. I don't really know what to put that down to. Maybe the Cranbourne Older Wise Girl were just too fast over those last few hundred metres. So, but prepared to forgive him that run. Got You Covered's racing great. Cardinal Getty, by the way, will drive Sugar Me, and Devon Van Til, the claimers, to the 4 here with Got You Covered. Always competitive. The Falcon continues to race really well, and I'm leaving out a horse like Midfru Louisiana Bow, who I spoke to Brent White about today, and he said I expect him to go a good race. So Kelly's Delight on top, but good race to complete the night. Appropriately, the first direct taxis, make sure you take one of those if you come and join us in Spectators or wherever you are on course on Friday night.
Look, we're going to leave you with the video of Cranbourne on the way out. He was tremendous last week. The owners really, Greg, didn't make enough noise. They're up in the stand. You could only hear them just outside Ashburton, so they really need to make a wee bit more noise than that. And it was really good to hear people on course yelling and screaming and supporting their horses. So hopefully everyone has a good night. We'll leave you with Cranbourne bringing them home last week, and he takes his place in the Coca-Cola Superstars this week. Have a good night.
7 Ultra Wise Guy awaits the lane, then Better Twist and Sugar Me. Cranbourne shaking up a length and a half in front. Ultra Wise Guy trying to reel him in. It's Cranbourne at the 100, a length clear of Ultra Wise Guy and Better Twist. It's Cranbourne, the gift that just keeps on giving. They can't get past. Cranbourne beats home Ultra Wise Guy. Third in Better Twist, and fourth's a photo between Pembroke Playboy and Shan Noble. AG's White Sox next, then one change from